Hey guys, this is CrazyKnightHero. For those who have subscribed, welcome to the kingdom. I haven't had a video in quite some time. I apologize. I didn't know quite the way I should go about this video, so it did take some time. Again, I apologize. Okay, and something that has come to my attention, and I'm sure all of your attention, is challenge mode has arrived. It's been super fun, and if you guys are wondering how to get some really good loot, that's how, because if you complete it on normal mode, you are guaranteed a 310 drop. That's insane. And then if you beat it on hard mode, you are guaranteed a 320 drop. That was so amazing that Bungie did that. Anyways, I'm sure there's a lot of videos out there you could learn more about challenge mode, but today I'm mainly going to focus on my thoughts about a Cabal raid. Some of my ideas and some of the ideas that a good friend of mine has suggested as well. So just getting into this now, I don't know exactly where the raid would take place. It might be some mega Cabal super base, or it might even be like a ginormous spaceship. But here are my ideas for it. Well, to start the raid, you just spawn on like Mars or something, and then you just have to assault this little outpost, kill a ton of ads, and then take your ghost and scan a computer. You wait a little while, and then this ginormous Cabal ship just arrives out of nowhere and sort of tractor beams you up. I think that'd be super awesome. Now the first battle I would think would be a tank. Now this is what the sort of arena might look like. It's a big rectangle with two upper platforms on the left and on the right. They don't run across the whole thing. It's just like a pretty big section, and they have stairs on each side of them. Then there's a big elevator that the tank comes in from in the middle. Now on the two upper platforms there will be two ginormous cannons, and on the left and on the right of those cannons will be plates that you'll have to stand on. Also, you can go under those big platforms on the left and on the right, sort of like how you can go under the ledges on that one strike on Mars. Okay, now that we have a sense of what the map looks like, the tank will spawn in the middle from the big elevator. Now you'll just be shooting ads for a while until it says supply run. Oh, and again, you can't shoot the tank normally. Like you have to do a special thing to hurt it, and I'll describe that in a second. During supply run, the tank will go back into the middle. As the supply run is happening, supply runners from the four corners of the map will come, and they will be Cabal dudes with a ton of gear strapped to them, like huge backpacks and all, and they will try and get to the tank. If they drop off their supplies at the tank's main cannon will get super powerful. It will pretty much be a wipe. Now you have to kill those Cabal quick enough so they don't make the boss's weapon too powerful. And then also you have to take the supplies that they drop and then load it into the cannons on the left and on the right. That's how you get the tank shields down. You have to shoot it at least twice with those cannons. Now, since there will be 4 supply runners, you can shoot 4 rounds from a cannon per run. Now, you can only shoot 2 rounds with one particular cannon, so you can shoot 4 total, but only 2 rounds a cannon, if that makes any sense. Now, to load the cannon themselves, you need someone to pick up the ammo, and then people standing on the plates on the left and on the right to open the hatch so he can dunk the ammo in. You need to quickly load the ammo as quickly as possible, and then once it is loaded, it will like have a bing sound, and then when that happens, you have to pick up the turret remote. Now, this is another relic that won't ever reset during the battle, so where you drop it, that's where it is. Now, what the turret remote does is that is where the cannons actually fire. So the tank will start roaming around again at this point, so it should be pretty random. So you gotta make sure you pick up that remote and aim it well. The tank shouldn't be too fast, so you can aim it pretty well, and the cannons will have a big blast radius still, so you don't have to be like super precise. but that's how you aim the cannons and fire the cannons. And that'll pretty much be it. You'll do your best not to die, and there will be 3 supply runs per battle. So if you can't kill it in 3 supply runs, then a thing will happen called Protocol Terminate, and invincible ads will show up and they will wreck the crap out of you. I think I covered just about everything. I think it would be a super fun battle because you gotta kill things quickly, you gotta manage who's doing what really quickly, and then I think the whole turret remote thing of actually aiming it and then remembering where you left it before would be super fun and a thing to watch out for. And that covers battle number 1. Let's move on to battle number 2. So this is what the arena looks like in the second battle. Imagine a big cross shape, but the actual cross shape is deeper, so it's lower down, and then there's a lot of annoying pillars in the way. And then in the center, there's this green glowing sort of computery pit thing, and then there's 4 elevated squares around the cross. And on those elevated squares, there is a pad that you need to stand on. The bottom left one is a red colored plate. The bottom right one is a blue colored plate. The top left one is a green colored plate. And the top right one is a yellow colored plate. And then, like I said, how there's 4 elevated squares, there's also sort of a rounded elevated platform on top of those. Now, the type of boss you will be fighting here, and I don't really have a name for it, but I guess I'll just call it the Psion Master. Now, he'll be super tall, probably just barely shorter than Crota, and he'll just be this big, awesome Psion dude that will stand toward the back and not really go anywhere. Now, you'll pretty much be shooting ads for quite some time, but then randomly it will take one person into a special looking room, and it'll sort of have a Volta Glassy flair to it, it'll be kind of mystical weirdish. But anyways, it will just be him and 2 flare servants, Psion flare servants or whatever. And he has to kill those 2 special Psions in less than a minute. Now, once he kills those guys, he has to pick up the relics that they drop. Now, to be teleported out of there, he has to pick up 2 relics, and then you'll just sort of have this glow and this buff around it, and it'll make it third person, but it won't really be a solid object. Now, as he's in there trying to kill those dudes fast enough so the entire team doesn't wipe, because if he doesn't kill them fast enough, then it will say Psion's Rage, and then everybody wipes. Now, as they're left behind, they need to keep these special Cabal hackers out of the computer pit thing in the middle. Now, what the hackers will do when they get to the middle is that they will heal the life of the flare servants and make them stronger and harder for the lone person to kill them. So you gotta make sure you keep those guys out of the middle so the one dude can have a lot easier job of killing those flare servants. Okay, and once that guy comes back into the big main room, he has to bring his buff/relic thing into the center glowing computer thing. If he dies with it, or if he doesn't put it in time, then again, Psion's Rage and everybody wipes. Once he puts it in, the hackers go away, and there'll be a slight moment of time to just gather yourself, and then the Psion servants will come, the flare servants will come back into the big room. They will be on the left and on the right of the flare master big boss Psion dude. Now, to damage the boss, when the flare dudes come back in, they will be a random color. So let's say the one on the left is yellow and the one on the right is red. Now, you can only really damage one of the flare servants at a time. So you would need a person to stand on the red plate, and then it will make the computer pit thing in the center glow red, so then you can damage that flare servant. With the yellow dude, you would just need someone to stand on the yellow plate and no other plate, so it doesn't mix the colors, so then you can damage the yellow dude. Now, it can be random each time, so it could be purple and a black flashing guy. Yeah, and when they flash, it means you have to kill that one first. So you would, when it's black, it would be stand on none of the plates, and then you would just shoot them, and they're sort of bullet spongy, but not. So you would just shoot the black guy because he's flashing, and when they flash, it means you shoot them first. And so then you would just shoot that guy, and then for the purple one, you would need people to stand on the red and blue plate to make purple. And then you would just shoot him, and then once the players are dead, there's a window of time to damage the boss, and about like 15 seconds or so, and then it all resets itself. And some other things to consider while damaging the flare servants when they come into the big room. They can also have bubble shields around them. So let's say the one on the left is blue and has a bubble shield. In the cross shape on the left, another scion will come out called Flare Servant's Battery. You have to kill the battery so the bubble shield will go away, and they'll sort of have like a link to them. You know, like when Night Stalkers use their bow and it has that anchor line between them? It'll sort of be like that, just so you can sort of know where the battery's at and deal with him quickly. And one final thing about the scions you have to kill before damaging the boss is if you kill one of them, then it stops Scion's rage from happening. So if you kill one of them, it stops them from wiping, and if you kill two, then you can get damage. So if you only kill one, no damage for you, but at least you don't die. And that's about it. You'll have another window of time to kill ads, and then randomly you'll take another guy into that fancy looking room to kill those flare servants again. And it took me a while to think of this, but I really like it. And I like it because it can happen in a lot of different ways. It's not too confusing to understand. Hopefully it's not too hard for people. But I think it'd be really fun to like watch out for those batteries and stuff that will make those bubble shields around those flare servants. And just making sure it has a sort of more high-tech feel than all the other Cabal stuff. So I think it'll be really awesome. And oh my gosh, this video is starting to get long. I didn't know I could talk this much. Man. And perhaps this will make up for the huge gap I had in between videos, so that's good. Okay, time to explain the final battle. Now the arena for this battle is pretty simple, but it is probably the biggest arena yet. Imagine a 9x9 grid, and each little square in the grid is about the size of the plate that you stand on in the King's Fall raid when you're fighting Oryx. Slightly bigger than that is each square. Now the boss is just going to be a normal, big, ginormous Cabal dude, and he's going to look a lot like the Shield brother with the Mauler. He'll have rockets on his back that will be bigger than his, but yeah, pretty similar. Got a big ramming rod, some rockets on his back, and this guy should be a big handful. And again, back to the proportions of the map, there will be a plate at the bottom middle of the triangle, the top middle of the triangle. Then there will be 2 plates on the left and 2 plates on the right, equaling to 6 plates in total. Okay, now the boss will start in the middle. And before you start it, there will be some force barriers, so you can't go in the middle square at all. Okay, to start it, you would stand in all of the plates, and then randomly it will choose one of the 6 people to have the relic, which is a special sword. Now the sword can break down force barriers, which will be super random and changing all the time, and just a whole bunch of shields will be in your face and turn on at the intersections of all these squares. Now they'll be shifting a lot, and there's different colors of these shields. Now the sword, the relic guy, can break through these shields. Only thing is he can only break through a certain color of these shields. He can only break through red shields. There will be red shields, which the boss and all the ads can go through any shield, so just keep that in mind. So the boss can go through red, and the sword can go through red shields. Blue shields, no one can go through those except ads. So the boss can't go through blue shields, and nor can your relic sword. And then there will be purple. The boss can go through purple and red, but the sword cannot go through purple. So purple is like, you need to watch out for that because you can't really go that direction, and the boss will steamroll you and run you over and insta-kill you. And the boss can only really travel about 10 squares at a time, and he does it in short bursts, but he can randomly turn. So he'll just keep rocketing in a straight line, and then randomly he'll grab one of those pillars at the intersection of one of these squares and then turn in a direction that you weren't expecting, and then you could get totally run over. So this guy will be a madman, constantly going everywhere. He'll be super hard to predict, and it'll just be crazy. Now, once the shields go up, and the guy is given the sword to navigate and break the shield so he can sort of help his buddies travel around the map, you have to find and kill 4 special Cabal Centurions with special, like, super awesome shotguns that, like, totally wreck you. Now, you have to work as a team and coordinate with the sword guy to where he's helping people move across the map, breaking those shields, finding ways around to get around some of the shields that the sword guy can't get through, and finding and hunting down these Cabal Centurions. And when you do kill them, then it will send a electrical EMP, which will cause the boss to go into the middle. I should have pointed it out that you can't just shoot the boss. It won't damage him. And if you don't kill the Cabal Centurions fast enough, then Protocol Terminate will activate, and a whole bunch of fire will come out of nowhere and just, like, wreck you, and then it's a wipe. So you gotta make sure you can navigate the map well with the relic holder, that he clears out those shields good. And then when you kill the 4 dudes and release the EMP, the boss is forced to go in the middle, and then all the shields go away. And then it gives a nice period of time to damage the boss. And when the shields go down, the guy with the relic loses his relic, and then it's just the time to shoot the boss. And then once you do that, a little timer will pop up about like 15 seconds, and then everybody has to get to the original plate that they were at in the beginning, so you don't all wipe. So you have to separate yourselves again by standing on those plates and making sure that you don't wipe because of the fact that no one's on the plate. So you really have to make sure you stay alive during this so you can have all 6 people on those plates again. Yes, it may be frustrating that you need 6 people for this battle like the entire time, but as long as you make sure you're alive for that little phase. Oh, and when you're damaging the boss, you'll get a buff where all add damage is like doubled or maybe even tripled, so you can just clear out the adds quick, so there's not just a ton of stuff pounding you. So it should be okay and decently safe as you're damaging the boss, but just keep that in mind to have a dude clear out adds. And then it's pretty simple, but I think it'd be pretty crazy. Like, you're moving as a group trying to find those centurions with the shotguns. You gotta kill them to whatever, and then like your buddies get separated by a shield, and then the boss comes and just runs you over, and then man, like that can be crazy. So you really gotta watch out where the boss is and where he is going. You'll have about 4 stages or like rounds to damage him, and then if you can't beat him in 4 rounds, then Protocol Terminate will happen again, and then everybody will wipe. They'll shoot a bunch of fire out everywhere, and then boom, you're dead. So yeah, I think a lot of this, a lot of the ideas for this whole raid were from a good friend of mine. He thought about the whole like crazy charging dude in the last battle, and sort of the basics of the tank battle, and I sort of expanded on them, and I hope you guys have enjoyed them so far. So yeah, thank you so much for listening to my ideas and friends' ideas that I've sort of expanded on just a little. You guys are fantastic, and this has been CrazyKnightHero, and I'm out.